guys, welcome back. आज हम बात करेंगे ODCL, Organization Development Change and Leadership. ये कोर्स relatively नया है TISS में, 4 साल पुराना कोर्स है, but it has grown tremendously and a lot of people get attracted to this course because the placement numbers are really fantastic. उसकी थोड़ी बात करेंगे short में. I mean, you'll have all the data on the website. So, जो भी लोग इसमें अप्लाई करते हैं, अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं, they have lots and lots of queries. First of all, they don't even know what is ODCL. So उस पे बात करेंगे, ये है क्या exactly? And this is the only course which requires a work ex. 2 साल का work ex चाहिए होता है. So why is that? What is the thinking behind that? And again, people compare it to HR. Okay, HR is the most sought after course in TISS. ODCL comes at number 2 straight away. So इनमें difference क्या है? लोग जानते ही नहीं है कि how HR is different from ODCL. उस पे बात करेंगे. And then why has it grown so much in 4 years? ऐसा क्या इंडस्ट्री डिमांड है, and we'll see किस टाइप के रोल्स और किस टाइप की कंपनीज आती हैं प्लेसमेंट के लिए. And then what are the career prospects going forward in long term? And इसका जो इंटरव्यू होता है that's very specific. और इंटरव्यू में क्या क्या करना होता है उस पर थोड़ा शॉर्ट में बात करेंगे. what role we play in that. So इन सब चीजों के बारे में बात करेंगे. Before we get into further details, so I'll just run you through for a minute about the placement numbers. Highest salary last year was 42 lakhs per annum. Average salary last year was 25 point something, I mean approximately 25 lakhs per annum. And in 1 year, this average salary compared to year before, it was 18. So it has grown for almost 40% in 1 year. That is the level of demand, that is the level of growth this course has achieved in last 4 years. And one of the most interesting facts, जो placements होते हैं, 65% of the placements happen in consulting roles in consulting companies such as Deloitte Consulting, Accenture Strategy, so on and so forth. So we'll come to that once we discuss that in detail. You will get to know ki why this is happening, what is the reason for that. Okay, so सबसे पहले the most burning question of the day, ODCL है क्या? Organization Development Change and Leadership. So इस कोर्स पे बातें होती हैं like organizational change, defining organizational issues and problems, and how that change is driven. ये देखने में छोटा सा लगता है, but this itself is a big thing. It's a vast thing. I'll give you a few examples. Organizations change, organization structure क्या होता है? So let me take one example. I worked in Titan almost 10 years back. So Titan, as you know, is a watch brand. There are 3-4 brands there. Titan is one brand. Then Fast Track is another brand. And Sonata is another brand. So what was happening was these 3 brands were running parallel to each other. कोई sync नहीं था इन तीनों brands में. So it was like 3 parallel organizations being run within the same company. और भी इनके brands हैं, I'm just talking about the 3 watch brands. इनका I+ भी है, तनिष्क भी इन्हीं का है. But let's focus primarily on these 3 brands. तीनों watch brands हैं, so there could be some sync, some synergy between the 3 brands. तीनों as separate organizations run हो रही थी. So what happens is this creates a lot of inefficiencies in the system. For example, let's take one big state, Uttar Pradesh, UP. So let's say there are 3 different guys who are handling that territory. So one single person has to travel across UP for Titan brand, another person across UP for Fast Track, and third person for Sonata. So this creates a lot of inefficiencies into the system. For example, it has a lot of travel cost. And दूसरा inefficiency होता है कि तीनों अलग-अलग लोग बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, सबका CFA अलग है. So all those things create a lot of inefficiencies. Second thing, most important, किसी भी शॉप में जाओ यूपी के, let's say tier 2, tier 3 towns में, and if you see a shop, 80% of that shop has Titan. I mean Titan as in all 3 brands, Titan, Sonata, Fast Track. So if 3 different people are going to that shop, they are not able to create that presence and pressure on that retailer, let's say. Vis-a-vis one person handling 80% of that shop, उस retailer का 80% business, let's say मैं अकेला handle कर रहा हूँ, so I'll have a different negotiating power with that. So these are the things. So so these are the problems that were identified there. And what they tried was they tried to amalgamate, they tried to mix all the three brands under one umbrella. So एक ही बंदा तीनों brand handle करेगा in one territory, let's say. So that was the precise problem. And solution was very clear. तीनों को merge करो. एक ही आदमी, एक ही salesperson would handle all three brands together. So that was the kind of change in the whole organization that was designed. अब उसको करने में it took many years. One reason was that to drive such a big change across organization, कोई ऐसा बंदा ही नहीं था जिसने ऐसा पहले कभी किया हो. That's one challenge. Second, अब because I'm talking about 10 years back, उस टाइम पे ऐसे काम बहुत कम होते थे, सब तरह के transformations. So I mean, you can understand the gravity of the situation. It has to be something which is driven across the company, across the organization. There are thousands of people that are involved, or unka resistance towards change and all that. So there a multifold of problems that a company faces. Second kind of example would be a digital transformation of an organization. Digital transformation means a company is being run on different systems. So कहीं पे SAP लगा हुआ है, कहीं पे ERP लगा है, and those systems don't talk to each other. So let's say as a sales guy, as a marketing guy, I was running a different system. जो CFA जो तुम्हारा गोडाउन्स होता है जहाँ से सप्लाईज होती हैं, they're running a different system. So if I have to see a report, I'll have to ask some guy. So it creates lag, time lag, and inefficiencies in the system. So there have to be systems which are integrated in the whole company. So मेरे को कोई information देखना है, I'm sitting at my desk. I'm not even my desk. I can just pull out my phone and see all the information that I need. It creates a lot of efficiencies in the system. So ये जो digital transformation है, this has been there for a very long time. A lot of companies are trying to transform themselves into digital based companies. I mean, they're not becoming IT companies, but their business would be driven and managed through digital and IT enabled things. Okay, so that kind of transformation, it creates a lot of efficiencies because तुम्हारा time कम लग रहा है, and you don't need a person जो मेरे को report निकाल के देगा. I don't have to ask someone. So it creates a lot of efficiencies into the system as an entirety of the situation. Okay, this could be another example. दो companies merge हो रही हैं. So question आता है, so advertising companies में बहुत होता है, companies merge हो रही है. I mean, you can Google it. Lot of advertising companies get merged. वो efficiencies of scales उनको आता है and all those reasons. So सबसे बड़ा question होता है कि now do we run it as a single organization or we keep running it as two parallel organizations. दो parallel run करना है तो there is no benefit of efficiencies that one can achieve. दोनों को merge करना है and now it's not 1 + 1 2 हो रहा है. It's like we are creating one bigger organization which will have better efficiency with lesser manpower. So the whole organization has to be restructured. उस तरह का काम हो गया. One company is taking over, acquiring another company. Okay. Now India की किसी company ने Japan की किसी company को overtake किया. Now these are totally different cultures. Japanese India पे trust नहीं करेंगे, Indians लोगों पे, Indian लोग Japanese पे trust नहीं करेंगे. Now how do we mix or merge those two companies? Now ऐसा नहीं है कि जो बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है will just run down its own culture towards the smaller organization. ऐसा कभी होगा नहीं, मतलब will not create a good organization overall. So इस तरह के रोल जो हैं, these are the roles that these people, ODCL people do. Okay. So now I hope you got some idea what kind of role we are talking about. Okay. So this is what ODCL is. Okay. And coming to the point why WorkX is required for this thing. इसको देख के थोड़ा तो आइडिया लग चुका होगा that anybody who is trying to understand ODCL, who is trying to master ODCL, उसको कुछ आइडिया होना चाहिए how an organization is being run. Organization होता क्या है, कितने layers होते हैं, कुछ I mean you will hear from organizations that we don't have hierarchies, बड़ा ही flat structure and all that. I mean I'm not going into details of those things. जो startups होते हैं they feel very proud in saying कि हमारे यहाँ hierarchies नहीं है. We have a very flat structure. Vis-a-vis let's say top FMCG companies or top consulting companies, उसमें बहुत hierarchies होती हैं. Associate consultant, senior consultant, partner and director and so forth. So different organizations में different structures हो सकती हैं. So organization structure है क्या? So once you work in some company for let's say for a substantial amount of time, 2 years का जैसे यहाँ पे criteria है, you'll understand कि organization structure होता क्या है. why the hierarchies exist, क्या functions होते हैं उनके. So you need to have a basic understanding of that thing just to get into this course. That's the major thinking behind this. So criteria है 2 साल का work ex तो चाहिए इसके लिए. We cannot do anything about it. Third thing, very very important. What is the difference between HR, a normal HR program, and ODCL? I'm sure ये information कहीं मिलेगा नहीं, because सबसे पहली बात ODCL course TISS में ही अलग से एक पूरा program चलता है. All other big B schools, they have ODCL as some subject, some one course in the entire program of HR. So वो अलग से ODCL बन के निकलता नहीं है, so nobody talks about it. We at TISSNET Prep, we have done lot of analysis, किस तरह के roles उनको मिलते हैं, किस तरह के companies में वो जाते हैं, and how do they progress in their roles. बहुत ज़्यादा data उस angle से नहीं है कि because 4 साल पुराना course है, so we have 3 batches, just 3 batches. So उनका क्या progression रहा है, we have talked to lot of people, lot of alumni, उनके क्या roles हैं, किस तरह के काम उन्होंने किए हैं. So that's what we do at TISSNET primarily. So we have done lot of analysis to understand कि ये difference कैसे क्या है इन दोनों में. HR people primarily do recruitment, compensation analysis, benefit analysis, and training and development of staff, or staff welfare. और अगर factories में जाएंगे तो वहाँ पे labor relations and industrial relations आ जाते हैं. So उनका थोड़ा सा system अलग रहता है, labor laws को implement करना and all that. That's what primarily an HR team does. ODCL, as we've already seen, ऐसा कुछ नहीं करती है. ODCL has a totally different role. It talks about the whole organization. उसके structure की वजह से क्या inefficiencies create हो रही हैं. Organization का goal है मेरे को ये achieve करना है. But because of the structure, it is stuck. The decision making is not happening fast, and execution is not happening fast. So it analyzes all those problems and creates solutions for them. HR का जो है वो वैसा ही role चलता रहेगा जो already वो करते हैं, compensation, recruitment, training, development. So these are totally different things. दोनों में almost कोई connection नहीं है in that respect. Okay? दोनों का अलग अलग role है. Then coming to industry demand. You can see ये एक list आपको दिख रही होगी LinkedIn profiles की. So these are the kind of roles. So you will see this role a lot. Change management. Change management is simply doing this work. Okay? Company level पे change करना है, company की structure को, organization की structure को change करना है. That's what change management is. Okay? So change, as you would hear a lot, change कुछ भी लाना होता है, there's a lot of resistance. So because people are involved, human beings are involved, and everybody is resistant to change to some extent. So smoothly उसको कैसे change को लाना है, that's primarily, out and out, that's what an ODCL person does. And because a lot of companies are identifying problems at the organization level, a lot of companies are undergoing digital transformation, as I've already told you, and a lot of merger acquisitions happen. Because of that, almost every industry has this kind of role, need of this kind of people, जो ऐसा कर पाए वो. So companies could do that from people in-house, and वो थोड़ा difficult रहता है because in-house people don't have that expertise. कभी किसी ने किया ही नहीं है वो काम. Okay, so what they do is there are a lot of consulting companies like Deloitte, Accenture Strategy. Okay, so they hire a lot of people, they hire a lot of agencies such as these agencies, जो कि ये पूरा consulting करती हैं in making this change happen at the company level. Okay, and I'm talking about big companies, not small companies. जो small cap companies होती हैं छोटी मोटी, उनकी बात नहीं कर रहा. I'm talking about companies which employ thousands of people. Okay, वहाँ पे ये होते हैं, these are like big projects. These run for at least 1 year. क्योंकि change implement करना, it has to be like एक साल implement किया, अगले साल देखेंगे वो चल रहा है कि नहीं, and then finding inefficiencies or problems in that, उसको कैसे sort out, कैसे wrinkle out कर सकते हैं. So these are big projects. So you'll be working at, let's say, 2 or 3 projects at max at one point. So the kind of exposure that you'll get, you can't even imagine abhi yahan pe. So that's the kind of industry demand we are talking about, and that's the reason why the average salaries here are jumping like 40-50% per year. And in next 2-3 years, we can't even imagine the salaries here would cross MBA programs of top B school for sure. जिस तरह का हम growth देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Talking about career prospects, काफी कुछ तो समझ में आ चुका होगा अभी तक. इस टाइप के रोल रहेंगे. Now imagine ये रोल change management, you are doing it for let's say 2-3 years, and I'm sure no one in the organization, let's say if you are working in with one organization, nobody else understands that better than you. And 2-3 years down the line, when you have worked on 2-3 projects, your value would be immense in the organization. You'd have created a niche for you. कुछ भी ऐसा implement करना होगा और बात करनी होगी organization structure के बारे में, you will be the go-to person for the top management actually. So I have a friend of mine who is pass out of TISS. He works with Cipla. So he's working in the CEO office. जो CEO होता है, it's not one person CEO sitting. It's a whole office. Like 15-20 लोग होते हैं उसमें. And what is his job? Change management. Driving change, that's what he does. I mean, that's a part of the team he is. Okay? So once you've worked for 2-3 years on that role, I mean, nobody can beat you in that. And you will be the only person, I mean, one of the few people who the top management would go to for such a work. Okay? Advisory, implementation, execution, everything. So, I mean, I'm sure anybody working for 2-3 years in this kind of role would be at a leadership position at any company for sure. So, very, very attractive, very, very prospects. I mean, very, very ambitious prospects for people enrolling in this course. So, last but not the least, all those who are thinking, all those who are excited by this course as of now, जो इसका interview होता है, I mean, a lot of people are very confused कि इसका interview कैसा होता होगा, because this is something new to everyone. इसका interview भी थोड़ा अलग होता है. Probably this is the only course in TISS जो कि prescribe करता है 3-4 books, and they expect, I mean, they ask you to read at least one of those books before coming to the interview. So we at TISSNET Prep, we do all that book analysis so that, I mean, everybody, I mean, you need to have a work ex. So I'm assuming most of you would be working, or all of you would be working, would be trying to enroll in this course. So उसके साथ books पढ़ना and उसको analyze करना, and that too for the first time, it's not easy. So we summarize those books, and it's like a separate mini course, because TISSNET जिसको देना है, so it's like around 50 days के आसपास time बचा है, 45 to 50 days. So अभी TISSNET पे ध्यान दो, okay? And if you need any guidance, I mean, do write to us, we'll help you out. And we have all the courses for TISSNET. 40-50 दिन बहुत होते हैं TISSNET को crack करने के लिए. And that's one thing. अभी उस पे ध्यान देना है. When it will come to the interviews, don't worry, we'll get it covered for you. We'll have a course for interviews जहाँ पे हम पूरा summarize करेंगे book को, so that you are ready for the interview at least. तुम्हें book खुद भी पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. I mean, we advise you to read the book at least, so which is always preferable. But we'll also summarize you so that if you have any doubts, books में कुछ, I mean, you are confused कि क्या पढ़े उसमें क्या नहीं, so we'll cover it for you. Don't worry. So interview is very specific for that, and we'll help you out with that for sure. So that's it. And if you have any queries regarding this course, regarding any other course for TISS, in fact, do write to us. We'll help you out. Thank you.